April 4th, it is the date we will forever remember Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.
It was on this day at 6:01 p.m. in 1968 that the world forever changed when Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. was killed from a single rifle shot. He was standing on the second floor of the Lorraine Motel in Memphis.
Tonight, as we mark 50 years since the murder of Dr. King, we look back at his lasting legacy.
Fox 5's Marissa Mitchell starts our coverage. And Marissa, you witnessed a somber ceremony here in Atlanta that was honoring the civil rights icon.
It was a touching day for sure for everyone that took part. Now, the family in particular, they tell me they are proud of his contributions and moved by how just so many people all over the world continue to honor his life and legacy. But they tell me at the end of the day, they'll always love and cherish him as Dad.
A somber and powerful reflection Wednesday for the King family. Relatives and leaders gathered at Dr. Martin Luther King Jr.'s resting place to honor his incredible life on the 50th anniversary of his death.
I was just thinking about all of the, moments that I didn't have, and wishing, that, I could have more time with him and know him in ways that other people do, and just, not just him, but my mom.
I also was thinking about where we would be had Dad lived.
Before the wreath laying, the King children and other loved ones rang a bell 39 times, marking the number of years the civil rights icon lived before his assassination. The ceremony at the crypt culminated an entire day of reflection for King in Atlanta. Hundreds honored the city's native son through speeches and song at the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church where he preached.
This is it's a spiritual home of sorts. It's a place to come to be reminded of the work that you do and how it's gone on for generations and generations, and we're just the next generation picking up the mantle, and hopefully the next one.
It's really important, especially for the little ones we have here, to know about injustices that were going on in the past and what's going on today in the future. So we've been talking about that with them.
People from all races and generations say it's important to follow King's legacy.
I have a dream that one day my 4 little children will not be judged by the color of their skin.
And that legacy for many will forever be linked to racial, social, and economic equality.
Our nation right now, we need something like this, and we need something like this continually.
There's a young high school-led movement along with the Me Too movement and along with Black Lives Matter that dramatically, I believe, is going to change this nation.
And today, Dr. Bernice King, King's daughter, held a gun, she says, for the first time. That was before crews melted it. She says the whole act was symbolic of her fight against violence. Sine.
Wow, very meaningful. Thanks so much, Marissa. Well, in Memphis, crowds of people gathered outside the Lorraine Motel, the site of King's assassination, to remember the civil rights leader. Among the visitors were some of King's former colleagues like Rev Jesse Jackson and Andrew Young, both of whom were at the Lorraine Motel with King on that fateful and tragic April day. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes has spent this week in Memphis and has details on today's emotional ceremony.
Thousands gathered outside the Lorraine Motel for Wednesday's wreath-laying ceremony. Black draping placed outside room 306, where Dr. King was assassinated some 50 years ago. The ringing of the bell at exactly 6:01 Central Time here at the Lorraine Motel, marking the exact moment the civil rights icon was assassinated. Black draping hung outside room 306, where Dr. King was standing when he was shot by a sniper that fateful night.
My brothers and my sisters, it's a bit difficult standing here again today.
The Reverend Jesse Jackson was with King the day he died. He told the crowd the nation has come a long way from the day Dr. King was killed on a hotel balcony on April 4th, 1968, to the election of the nation's first black president, some 40 years later.
We decided we would not let one bullet kill a movement. In 40 years, we went from the balcony on Lorraine Motel to the balcony of the White House in 40 years.
But Jackson and others said there was still much work to be done. Dr. King was in Memphis to support the sanitation workers' strike when he was killed. Black garbage men were fighting for fair wages and safe working conditions. Political and religious leaders urged the crowd to continue the fight against racism and poverty, still prevalent some 50 years after Dr. King's death.
Before he ever said anything about the mountaintop, he said, "We must give ourselves to this struggle until the end, and nothing would be more tragic than for us to stop at this point."
The ceremony, one of two major events held in Memphis as part of the day's observance, a big rally and march in support of the 50th anniversary of the sanitation workers' strike, also drawing a large crowd. In Memphis, Deidre Dukes, Fox 5 News.
And we have much more on all of today's commemoration events marking the 50th anniversary of Dr. King's death on our website. That's fox5atlanta.com.